Hey guys, I'm Tanner from Gamenetics, and today we got the grip sticker placement guide for you. I'm going to show you how to get these grips onto your controller with no folds or creases or anything like that, and they're going to look the best they possibly can. So grab your grip stickers and your fresh controller and let's get right into it. Before we actually get into applying the stickers, we're going to have to give the controller a quick clean with these wipes. So we're going to first start with the number 1 wipe and just hitting it on the front just to kind of get any grime or grease off the controller. This is a new controller for me, so I'm going to go through this pretty quick, but if you have a heavily used controller, you might want to spend a little bit more time on this. But this is looking good for me. Take my dry wipe, dry it off. Alright, and that is looking pretty good for me. With our controller clean, we can get into the stickers. So we're going to be starting on the front stickers first, the smaller stickers. As you can see, they form right to the edges of the controller, so that seam line will be our guide for the sticker placement. So we can go ahead and peel off our cover. Then we're going to start from the bottom. We're just going to go and follow the natural shell lines and seams, just making sure to line up the edge with the seam of the controller. Just kind of gently placing it down, smoothing it out as you go, keeping that nice fine edge along it. And once we're working our way to the top, probably gonna have to, you might have to just pull a little bit to get to that nice crisp top edge right there. But you will know that you're doing it pretty right if from the bottom edge to the top edge is completely filled. So now that we have our edge done on the seam, we can go ahead and start working this out. And this part is a lot easier than the seam. This kind of just falls naturally, and you can kind of smooth it out with your finger like this, making sure to watch for any creases and smoothing them out. You can even peel it back a little bit if you do get a crease or two. Just gently smooth it out. Smooth it out. See, I'm starting to get a crease right there. If you do have a crease like I do right here, just pull it back, flatten it out. No problem. No problem at all. Just like that. Flatten it all out. Check for any creases on your edges. Flatten this down. Double check my seam. And that is looking pretty good for me. I think it's time to move on to the left side. We'll be repeating the same process on the left side, peeling off our sticker cover, then lining it up right on the bottom. You kind of use your thumb as a stop mark. And focusing a little bit, just getting that first part down, following that seam. Kind of pull that back if it starts to stick a little bit more on the front, so we can have a little bit of leeway pull to finish off the top. And just following that seam, focusing on keeping that nice and aligned. Reaching the top, pull it out a little bit more to get a nice top. Okay. Right along that seam line, run your finger across it just to make sure it's down. Then, just like before, just kind of working your thumb over the front, smoothing it out as you go. It should fall right into place pretty good. Just smoothing it out, smoothing it out. You will probably get some creases towards the bottom, but like I said, just pull back a little bit and even it out again. Smoothing it out. There we go. Making sure that we have no creases, especially for this Joker face. All nice and smooth. And there we go, we are 50% done with our grips, and we can move on to the back. The back might look a little bit more intimidating because it's bigger, but trust me, it's not. If you take one of your pieces, you can see that you're basically just going to be filling in that crease edge mark right there. So it's actually a little bit easier than the front, so we can go ahead and pull off on the thin part. On this part, I don't like to pull off the entire bit yet. I like to just take the crease of the edge and expose that part first. I'll show you why here in a second. If we fold this down just on the crease, we can kind of go from the top, line that up nicely where we want it, push that in a little bit with our finger, and then peeling up as we go and kind of just forming it in, pressing it in as we go, and keeping our finger on top to make sure that it's flat. Forming that down nicely to the sides. There we go. Run your finger along that just to make sure you don't have any overlapping. Of course, if you do, you can pull it back and just readjust. Like I think I'm actually going to readjust this. You can kind of pick off this top part and just kind of manipulate it how you want it. I had a little bit of a gap right there, but I've just filled it in now, and that looks good for me. So the reason that I left this on is because I feel like if I can go like this and kind of just peel this back a little bit as I need, but once you have it back, you can sort of just let this fall and work it down with your thumbs. It's really, really easy. And it's also good for keeping these curves pressed down nicely. That's one of the trickier parts about the back, is just the curves of the controller, of course, and making sure that you do have a nice stick with the adhesive on there. But once we get down to around this point, past the curve, I pull it right off. Make sure that this one is where I want it. Make sure that there's no creases on this edge right here. And then just working it down, just like the front, letting it fall where it wants to go, and just flattening it out and smoothing it. Pressing down on the edges, double check for any creases. I've got a little crease right there that I don't like the visual look of, so I'm just gonna pull that up and flatten this down more precisely on the edges first. Flattening this part out, and there we go. Fix that crease right there, and you can kind of smooth it out just more with your thumb, just like this, if you do have a little bit of a crease right there. And this is also good just to get a good stick down. Just run your thumb along the edges, pressing on that curve with your thumb to make sure you get a good hold on the adhesive. And now onto our other side. Just like last time, peeling this little thinner part first, and then making a fold, just like that. Bring it up to the top mark, and guiding it in, and then smoothing it with my other finger. Stretch this down just a little bit to make that match a little bit better and get that seam perfect. I don't have any overlapping. That's a pretty good connection. I can even pull this up just a tad, just so it's a little bit more aligned with my other piece. And that's the best part about these things, is you can peel them back and pull them a little bit. They have a little bit of give, so don't be afraid to do that. And we can go and use our other method by pulling this, and then just working it down with our thumbs. Mostly caring about these corners, because that's the trickier part of the back. Making sure, yep, no creases there. Press that down, and then when we get right about here, I like to pull it all off and then work down that seam, work down that edge. I think, yep, I got a little bit of a crease right there, but I'm gonna pull up just like we did on the last one and flatten that out nicely. And guys, I think we can officially say, after a few more nice grips and squeezes to make sure that adhesive is held down nice and tightly, we are done with our grip stickers. I really hope this guide helped you out, guys, and enjoy your brand new grip stickers.